And we are live. Welcome to the Separated at Birth podcast. I am your host, Roman Wins, joined by my brother from another mother, from the sniz that just keeps on and gives, the full measure. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to the great Memorial Day here in the U.S., a day that marks the beginning of summer, time to get lit. How the hell are you, my friend?
I'm good at you, man. Time to get lit. I think we spent the entire weekend already conquering that problem. So it's like time to get fucking unlit right now.
Time to get electrolytes because I have been dehydrated for 4 days drinking with you, my friend.
Dude, it's been a rough one. It's been a rough one. I felt... Look, I mean, I went into Saturday like already with like a hangover. So I was like, okay, cool. But you know, like if you've had like 2 or 3 heavy nights, right? It makes you almost like bulletproof like the next night. Like it takes like a little bit more to get you going, right? And I fucking smashed right through that wall like a fucking animal. So I felt ragged on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie. It was like one of those, like I got out of bed because we've been taking care of these people's cats again, but we were doing it at their house. So it's like every fucking morning at like 7:30, me and the wife, we walk like fucking 2 kilometers and then go feed these cats. And then, so I did that. We bought some cappuccinos and some croissant, ate that shit on the way home, and then just went like straight back to bed, dude. I was done. Croissant. But tell me something. You were frying up a fucking insane storm yesterday. You were cooking on all cylinders. So was it a big success there over at Casa de Roman? Like what happened, man?
It was a massive success. So we do Sizzling Saturday. You know, we hang out, we drink for an ungodly amount of time during your stream. Then I run over to the butcher shop. I get a 15-pound whole brisket and I start cooking immediately. Still drunk and hungover and just not well.
Like all of it. It's a hot mess,
of it at once in like 90-degree heat. Like, you know, it's like 33 over here. And like, I'm just like, I cook until 3 a.m. because the dang beef didn't want to get to temperature. Then I sleep for a few hours, wake up at 8 a.m. to continue cooking, and then I cook all the way until the party starts at 5 p.m. my time. And through that whole while on Sunday, when you're manning a fire, you have to have a beer.
Baby. You gotta hydrate.
So I'm just holding a beer, just going. All my guests come at 5, and I had been drinking since 8 a.m. And so I'm thinking
afternoon?
5 in the afternoon.
So you did like 12 hours of drinking basically before they came.
Yes, slow rolled, and then everybody brings more drinks. Grey Goose. I had about 30 people here. I had 2 pork butts, a brisket, a ton of food, and just kept powering through.
Dude, holy shit.
I texted you in the morning. I was like, I feel like this weekend took 10 years off my life. My liver is seizing. I'm just pounding like electrolytes, like just to bring me back. But the show is here, and there's something about this show. It brings me to life, baby. I'm back. I'm with my boy. We're talking, and we have the people. We have all of you guys out there.
I have like I feel like I'm in a fucking fever dream or something like that, because I did a day at the office today, and do you know how simultaneously a day can fly by but also feel like the slowest fucking thing under the sun? Like it's literally like one of those movie scenes where it like speeds up and then slows down and speeds. Like it's basically like a fucking, what do you call it? What's his name? The director that jumped off the fucking bridge. Like Tony Scott. It's like a Tony Scott movie, dude. It's like he did. He suicided off a bridge. I mean,
I did not know that.
Yeah, Tony Scott had like massive issues with self-image and depression and stuff. He killed himself. It was very fucking sad. Tony Scott's one of my favorite directors of all time, bro.
Great films. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
oh my god,
it's really, really fucking sad. I want to say the San Francisco Bridge, but I mean, I don't think that really matters though. But yeah,
if it was the Golden State Bridge, that's a big ass bridge. I mean, he went out like a G. He fell for so long, he had time to think about it. That bridge is so big.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have like time to post something on fucking Twitter on the way out. You know, like. Like you probably have some goddamn.
I regret everything.
Like have some receptions, and then you can still post and see the first 2 comments as they come in. It's fucking terrible.
Oh
wow. So right off the bat, I gotta say I made some phenomenal that I can remember on Saturday. I made some phenomenal recommendations, and one of them was to watch Solar Opposites, which is
Solar Opposites is great
about that as well. It's fucking hilarious. So I'm happy to hear that, my dude. I love to share the wealth that is that is like really funny animated shows. It's really good. I'm watching another one now as well again on Netflix. And for some reason, because as usual, I'm a fucking moron. I don't remember the name, but it's like there's 3 seasons. It's this dude that's on a space station and he gets this fucking weapon, and the weapon is like looks like a small little alien or something like that. Goddamn
series.
Yeah. It's a series. It's really good, dude. It's really good. So there's 3 seasons of it now. I think they're doing a 4th one. It starts off really like jokey and shit, and it gets really, really serious. But it's fantastic.
Wow, I gotta check that out. Listen, I mean, I'm jealous of you. You watched the series that you seem to be enjoying. I'm jealous of Fenrir. He's watched the series he seems to be enjoying. I unfortunately watched the series written by idiots who never watched Star Wars a day of their life. I'm talking about Kenobi. All right, I come in hot. All right, Kenobi has
fuck that series. I watched both yesterday as well in my and you know, maybe that's Final Space. That's the thing. Thank you. There's the fucking name right there. So like I watched that yesterday while I was feeling, you know, I had the booze blues. So maybe that affected me a little bit. But I'm sorry, like it's weak as fuck right now. The next 4 episodes need to be hella strong, son. Like it basically needs to go like this.
I'm not gonna do spoilers, all right? I'm in for it because Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan is a revelation. I love the character in the role.
And I know you're a fan of Hayden Christensen. So
love Hayden Christensen and what he's gonna do with Vader. I'm super excited. But they chased a child, and I have one leg, and that chase, I could have went like this and caught this kid in 2 seconds, and they drug it out for like 2 minutes. I mean, they just are filling time. They probably have about like 10 minutes worth of story, and they have all this shit they're shoving into it.
Couldn't they have just made this a movie?
They should have made this a movie. It would have been a tight movie. I believe it. I believe they could have made a very good movie.
40 minutes instead of fucking 6 times 40 minutes bullshit.
Yeah, even 210, like I think like right there, you could tell a really good story, right? Keeping it under like...
And so, are you sure we can't do fucking spoilers? Because I have a fucking question. You know what question I have about something that happens at the end of episode 2.
All right. I have to quote my partner in crime here. All right. Sorry for everybody. Spoiler warning. This man is the full measure, so I need to get the full measure out of him. Give it to me. What's your question?
Dude, the fucking Grand Inquisitor is in Rebels. How the fuck is he getting shot? Or, sorry, stabbed with the fucking lightsaber, bro.
He was impaled, and yes, the Grand Inquisitor is in Rebels. We do not know if he's dead. He is...
I'm sorry, dude. You take a fucking lightsaber to the stomach. I'm saying, like, you know, like, how are you not hitting some organs?
Darth Maul was chopped in half, and he survived. So, I mean...
Okay, so he's got plot armor, is what you're saying?
I do not think that this is the last we've seen of the Grand Inquisitor.
It can't be, because they have to fucking bring him into the canon. Because this shit is canon, right?
Yes, this is canon. I wish I was shot out of a cannon.
I'm fucking tired, bro, of like these guys shitting on like the stuff that we enjoy. Like exactly what you're saying. Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan is one of my favorite things about Star Wars. Right? It's one of my favorite memories of Star Wars. I think he portrayed the character so great. I enjoyed him so much. I mean, the whole reason why those first, you know, like couple of hours of new Star Wars is good is because of him and Liam Neeson. That shit is fucking tight.
Yeah, but, man.
They just take this and then they just like splooge it over like an idea that they have. Like Reva, I don't fucking get. Like, isn't it to you that Reva is basically like actually Darth Maul? Because Darth Maul is obsessed with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting to see what her motivations are. They're gonna
I can tell you
show
what's
her.
gonna happen. Can I predict right now what's going to happen?
Okay, I have my theories, but you could go ahead. But what I want to say,
let's put a wager.
all right. Oh, okay. But right now, what I feel, what it makes it feel like is, as the critical drinker always says, is the message. You have a strong female character of color that they're just shoving at you.
Right? Yeah,
they're shoving it at you. But if you would have given us her motivations and made her a proper character, it wouldn't trigger people right away. But you're withholding it. But really, what it's gonna, I believe she is the bridge to Anakin. Like, they're gonna use her to obsession with him to get us to Obi-Wan and Anakin meeting again.
And then she saves fucking Obi-Wan at the end and gets killed by fucking Anakin.
There's gonna, because you can't
That's my prediction.
You can't curry favor with the Dark Lord, okay? She's just trying to protect herself from getting force choked via freaking the Skype call. That's what they're trying to do with that. But like, I have so many problems with this, because the first thing I did when these 2 episodes were done, I went right to the credits. I was like, I guarantee you neither of these episodes were written by Dave Filoni, and I was completely correct. Because
so correct me. I want to ask you a question. Isn't he like somehow like severely distanced from this project?
Yes, he is the heir to Lucas. Like, he knows the canon inside and out.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's expressly distanced himself from this project.
Yes,
there was a story in the media about it.
Yeah, they shotgunned this project because the Obi-Wan was canceled. It was not going to go forward through production, and then they just quickly picked it up. This takes place 10 years immediately after Revenge of the Sith, William. This takes place 10 years immediately following Revenge of the Sith. So right after Order 66, we are 10 years on, and Obi-Wan has been in isolation. What he's supposed to be doing is becoming an ultimate Jedi Master, because he sits in isolation, training his mind. All right, and as a Jedi Master, one does not suffer doubt. One does not suffer regret.
Such a pussy at the beginning of this.
He would believe that his boy Anakin, it was one with the living force, not lamenting his death. He would not be having nightmares. He wouldn't.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. It's like they go out of their way to retcon or to make you question a lot of the things which you kind of know as either a super fan or something like that. Because the point is, you can go right now and go get those fucking Star Wars encyclopedias and shit like this, and it'll explain the history of Obi-Wan and just how like fucking hectic he became. Mm-hmm. And now he's just, and again, I think you said that on Saturday, and it kind of stuck with me because by that time I hadn't watched it yet. And it's like, maybe we see this entire arc in these 6 episodes that by the time the 6th episode rolls in, Obi-Wan is like bestial,
untouchable.
Right? Yeah. But then that's also like an extremely aggressive character arc for 6 episodes where for 10 years he's basically like a bitch.
That's true. I mean, the Rebels did it right? Because
Rebels did a lot of shit right, bro. But Dave Filoni don't fuck around. So
exactly. When they finally showed Obi-Wan all those years later, Maul is at the peak of his power, and he goes to fight Obi-Wan. I'm gonna get my revenge.
Obi wipes the floor with him. Dude.
He's just like, he goes one shot, done. Yeah. And then he looked at him, and then
what's that word I taught you today?
Cock.
You have to do the hand.
Oh, cock.
There you go, my man. Yeah. Yeah.
That means shit in Afrikaans, and that's what I learned today. Yeah, we're dealing with some shit. Obi-Wan is a fucking legend. I love the show I love that show so much. I love the how it was true to the characters, and
Rebels is also one of those things that kept on getting better and better.
It did.
Like it's a lot of the times, like I especially with things that are like that we're huge fans of, right? It starts really strong because it hits you with those member berries and you remember what you liked about it. But then it drags on a little bit and you're like, these guys are fucking with my shit and I don't like everything like that. But Rebels was like, it went from strength to strength to the point where Rebels ended like phenomenal.
Yeah. What was it? The Phantom Apprentice is a masterpiece of Star Wars. Like the Phantom Apprentice episode, if you don't watch any of Rebels, go on Disney Plus, seek out the episode The Phantom Apprentice, and it is so up there with some of the best stuff in all of Star Wars. And I love that show because I think somewhere along the way, like they weren't sticking to their guns. They made it very much a kid's show in the beginning. Then along the way they realized, hardcore Star Wars fans are watching this.
Like old 40-year-old men are watching this shit.
And
like,
then they were like, let's turn it up to 11.
Yes.
And then
that's what I mean. It kept on getting better. Like it hit you at the beginning when you were watching it. It was just like, oh great, it's Star Wars, and it's actually really well written Star Wars. And then later on, you're like, Jesus Christ, this is well written Star Wars for me. Like this is like I feel like as a 30-year-old, this shit is like hitting me. Like, you know, yeah, it's phenomenal. I would anybody that thinks of themselves as like a moderate Star Wars fan or someone that really enjoys that universe or anything like that. If you ask me out in fucking public somewhere, like, what is the one thing that you would recommend as a fan that I might not have seen yet? The first thing I always say is fucking Rebels, bro.
Rebels is great. I think it's a really good time. Yes, the Obi-Wan show. I will hang in there for it. I don't know if I have to, right? I don't know if I'm going to hang in week to week or if I want to wait till it's all out. I do want to start diving into Stranger Things right now. I haven't got a chance to bite yet, but I'm in it because I support Ewan McGregor. I believe the prequels have aged better. I think they have a more of a prominent place in Star Wars than their new sequel trilogy. And right now, it's just for me. I'm just waiting for Mandalorian, and anything else that they've put out has been very meh.
So what's the timeline on Mandalorian 3? Do we know?
I don't know yet. They're gonna bring out Ahsoka next, which is Ahsoka is what they showed at Star Wars Celebration. Will we
get Andor as well before then?
Yes, we get Andor as well before then. But Ahsoka's a big one for Rebels fans because that's where we're going to bring in Sabine. We're going to bring in Ezra Bridger. We're going to bring in Hera Syndulla and Chopper. All the characters are coming. Is Rebels part of the Star Wars canon? I find it hard to keep up with what sort of happened first. Yes, Rebels is part of the canon. It is the time before A New Hope. And it fits right in. And I can't wait for it, man.
Yeah, I think... Again, like Dave Filoni, I think I'm not gonna sit here and sing to his fucking praise anymore, you know, than I already have. But there's few people that I trust to write the canon, or more specifically to defend the canon, and you know, like speak about it with authority. And he's definitely, I mean, he might even be top. Because it's a person that's just immersed himself so much in the culture of it, but also in understanding like the repercussions of, okay, cool, if this happened like 60 years later, this happens and all that. And it's a very hard thing to keep abreast of when you know that there's novels that are also considered canon, the fucking movies, you know, all of that shit. So it's crazy. It really is. It's a great time for TV right now. Right, except for fucking Obi-Wan, because I see DJs mentioning like a show which I think all of us are looking forward to as well. I think Better Call Saul it was an fucking sane end to that shit. I really enjoyed Stranger Things, so I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. I thought it was great. So we have 2 more final episodes of Stranger Things coming at the end of July as well. We have the second part of season 6 of Better Call Saul coming mid June until, is it? Fuck, am I saying it wrong? I think it's like the last couple of days of June and then into July, something like that. Or it's the last couple of days of July into August. I could be fucking up. But yeah, and then we have Boy season 2. Season 3 that's dropping in like 4 days time, as mentioned, which is going to be very interesting because they're going completely off the graphics novels now. They're using the titles and stuff like Eurogasm and stuff like that. But they're kind of going off the whole. I don't know if you ever read the graphic novels, but they're going kind of like, and it's going to be interesting because they did that in season 2 already, and I liked what they did. They kind of respected the source material, but you know, pivoted in a good way. So yeah.
I'm excited for The Boys. I'm super excited for it. I love Carl Urban. I feel like he's so underrated as a performer. His take on Judge Dredd is just one of those movies that is not respected enough.
How did that never get a sequel, bro?
That movie's phenomenal. All right,
it's
that movie's
underrated as hell, dude.
So the Billy the Butcher. I'm all for it, man. I can't wait for The Boys, and I love what they're doing with that show. Homelander has now, you know. He's become an inspiration for me. He got to jerk off the side of a bridge, or off a building, just He's the king of the world, man. I want those goals for my life, to just be able to hop on Discord, play porn games that people could see. No, I'm just kidding. I derailed. But I just want to be like a type of person that can do whatever I want in this world, just like Homelander.
If you could play a porn game on stream, which one would you play?
Oh, I would probably play.
Bearing in mind that people will then be able to see your O face.
King Hunter. Well, that's what I would play.
King Hunter, is that a game?
I think so. I don't know. Someone in the chat tell me.
Are you gonna make me Google this now? I'm scared. Is this gonna get me on a watch list or something like that?
I would never. No.
So really though, right? I would actually, like, I would blush. I'm sure I would. There's not a lot of things that make me blush. In fact, there's almost nothing.
Stream an adult game, you would blush?
Yeah.
It's
like a weird thing where so let me ask you this, right? We're getting onto something really interesting here from now. Have you ever been in the room watching a movie with your parents where there's a fucking sex scene?
My father, not my mother.
Okay. And how was that?
It was odd.
It was odd? Did
but
you guys high five?
No, I figured at the time he was letting me watch it to like say, hey, you're a man, you need to be.
Yeah, it's your rite of passage. I remember when I turned 7 and watched my first sex scene.
Yeah. Like he just casually would have Cinemax on after 11, which was nothing but softcore porn. And like I would walk in and my dad has a really bad Spanish accent and he'd be like, sit down, puppy. Take a seat.
Oh, shit.
and I'd just be like, okay, Dad. I'd sit there and I watch, what was her name? What was Richard Simmons' wife? What was her name?
Okay, but hold on. That's because that was going to be my next question. Which movie are we talking about?
It was, what was her name?
I mean, was it proper fucking porn or was it at least like a normal movie with like some coitus in?
So when I was a kid, we always had hot boxes, right? So like you could like pirate like film and TV, and like it had the plus and minus button because the waves would go across the TV, and you would adjust it just so you could see one titty for a second, like proper porn. Like it was just like you used to be like this.
You're just working it. You're putting in the work.
And then I would tell my brother, hit the button so that way I could get a little lit. No, that didn't happen. But
hey, I mean, what are brothers for, right?
Yeah. But no, I've never. I mean, I would eventually just be like, okay, like when I felt my blood type change, I would remove myself from the room.
Okay, that's so. So the first ever like sex scene that I watched, and I watched it with both my parents in the room, was Pretty Woman.
Oh,
yes, because my mom had said that, you know, like so my mom tried to keep to this whole like age restriction type shit, like in the house, like I couldn't watch it. And this is before the time of like, I mean, in Namibia it was different, right? Like we didn't have TV on demand and, you know, all that shit, right? So it was like someone would go rent like the fucking film, and like my mom was obsessed with Pretty Woman, by the way. So she might maybe like before I got to watch it the very first time, she'd watched it like maybe 4 or 5 fucking times. So that was going down to the video store every time and renting it and watching it. I was like, hey, oh, can I watch it? Like one time I tried to get the shit, and like early in the morning I put it in. And I was watching it, and she like actually woke up, and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing, motherfucker?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing," you know. So Pretty Woman was the first one, but Pretty Woman was like, I was like, "Is this all this fucking ruckus was about? This is some stupid shit." And then I'll never forget this shit. Right? I lived down the street from a buddy of mine, and we used to carpool to school. So his mother would bring us home in the afternoon, and my mom would drop us off in the morning to school. And his mom was like super fucking easy in terms of like he could watch movies till like 2 in the evening, you know, morning, whatever. He had house parties, all this shit. Basically the exact opposite of what I had. And his mom like went away for like fucking 2 weeks, and his older brother and him stayed home alone. And so his older brother had gone out to a party. He had me and like 2 other guys over, bro. And we watched fucking Basic Instinct.
Wow.
And that was like, I think I gotta
Sharon
say,
Stone's leg swap.
Yeah, but it's also like the ice pick fuck scene. No. Yeah, that is Sharon Stone's legs. Yeah, that is it. But it's also the ice pick fuck scene, which is at the beginning of the movie, which is like super heavy, right? But wow. the thing is, again, I was living up the road, like fucking 4 houses from this dude. And I wasn't sleeping over at his place that night or something. We were just partying there. And it was like 11 at night. We got in this thing and we were watching fucking Basic Instinct. We were being so naughty and all this shit. And of course, as we're like right, we're in the middle of the movie. My mom's at the door going, Odyssey, when are you coming home, bro? And I'm like, God damn, we're watching Basic Instinct, dude. It was the worst. So I've had this issue with like this problem my entire life, where with the most fucking inopportune time that I could be with my parents in a movie, that shit's there. So yeah,
I told you not to bother me when I'm cleaning my room. No. For me, that movie, the first one that like
in here.
that made that jump out of me was Desperado. That Salma Hayek, Antonio Banderas scene was just
shit.
like,
But that's
my
basically
God.
softcore porn, bro.
I know it, but like I wasn't expecting that, and we were watching this movie, and I was just like, things are happening to my body, I can't explain it.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, that's like Salma Hayek in her prime, like, and Antonio Banderas in his prime.
Fun fact. That because I had that awkward scene with my parents, I shared that awkward scene with my wife and my children. You
paid it forward?
We all watched Desperado together when they were probably at not the right age to watch it. And then Brittany's just like diving to cover my daughter, all the girls' eyes, but you know, she can't cover all of their eyes.
Yeah, but
and
you can cover the eyes, but the titties out, you know? Like
and I had to defend the boys. I was like, we can watch this, all right? You cover theirs, leave them alone. So we all watched Desperado way too soon in their prepubescent lives. And it was worth it. Because those Salma Hayek titties, they're all timers, and I gotta give them 2 thumbs up.
What is that Dave Chappelle joke?
The milk's gone bad. I gotta give them titties 4 thumbs down.
I wish I had 2 more hands so I could give these titties 4 thumbs down. So bad.
Oh my God.
So pivoting off this extremely awesome topic, question. I know that you recently took up the challenge that I gave you with playing Deathloop. It's basically causing you to go into a death loop. But it got me thinking, and both of us are enjoying V-Rising a lot right now.
Love it.
Okay. And in many ways, right, if you look at the development and everything like that, V-Rising can be looked at as an indie game in a way. Mm-hmm. And of course, Deathloop would be considered a, you know, big fucking studio house push. You know, it's Arcane, you know, all that shit, right? So what do you think it is that, because it's clear that these big studios are becoming detached from what it takes to really captivate an audience, or what it takes to make a great experience. And it's not because the ideas are bad. The ideas are sometimes really good. It's the fucking execution of that, or the, let's rather say, the non-execution of that, right? And then you take something like V-Rising, where, and I'm in a unique situation where you know, like sometimes when I don't know if you have this at the office or people that you run into, but some of those people are gamers and they ask you like, what are you playing right now? And you tell them like, I'm playing this or something like that. And then you're in this unique position where somebody say, I don't know that game. And you can explain it to them. And explaining V-Rising to someone, at least for me, I did this today at the office, it doesn't sound that great. It doesn't sound that.
You gotta sell it, baby.
No, I know, and you're right. But the thing is, when you say it, it's like you're like, okay, it's kind of like Valheim, but it's with vampires. So you know, you gotta like vampires, it's good shit. But it's got like the building system in, like, you know, something like it's got like tech trees that flow into each other in a production, like something like Satisfactory, and it just sounds like you're throwing a bunch of game names at someone, and you're like, it's like all of those games together in one, which is an unfair thing because V-Rising is good on its own, just by itself. But that's my question really to you, is that V-Rising doesn't necessarily do anything new, but it does the familiar things that we know so well. And why do you think it is that it is so impossible these days to make a new idea, or if you agree with me, to make a new idea and make it stick? Is it because we as human beings, we just want the familiar?
Well, yeah, the familiar is warm, right? The familiar, it removes the barrier of entry. Like anyone can pick it up and get into it if they, in their mind, can associate it with something, sure. Right? And what you were saying about the AAA games is what they get away from is they storyboard all these set pieces and all this big stuff, but they forget that gameplay is king. It's the minute to minute what you're doing, not making me fucking read text walls and find audio logs and then
to tell the story and
to tell
whatever,
the story. And then ultimately what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a marker up on the screen somewhere and say just run here anyway. And it's like, games, these indie games, right? They'll find their groove, right? They're like you said, V Rising. It's base building, it's survival, but hey, here's a twist. Let's put MOBA like combat in there with a skill tree, and instead of a store where you buy items, we'll make it so that way you can get abilities from bosses, and then you can mix and match and make up how you want to play. Giving that agency to the player to play the way that they want to play is huge. It's great with games like what was the Greek one, the roguelite Hades, where you can make up the way you want to play. Elden Ring, you essentially make up the way you want to play. And that's so good because it fills in the gray area. It's like watching an old show, and in the time, like, they didn't show you everything because it had poor graphics and they were getting away with what they can with physical props and things like that, and your imagination filled that gaps. So these games, they're giving you the familiar, and then they're letting you go out and play the way you want to play, and your mind is filling in the gaps. And it's so beautiful, and I love to see it. And the rise, like the corner host said, Japanese developers and now European developers are getting it. Like, the West is not. Like, the American developers are not getting it.
Japanese or Asian or whatever, that demographic, that developer, they've had it since forever. And I get into this conversation with people sometimes where it's like, Elden Ring has come out now and upset a whole bunch of people. I actually did a poll on my channel a while back about this. The thing is, From Software has been killing it for since forever. They make masterpieces, but this is the first generally accepted masterpiece.
Mass appeal.
Yeah, exactly, which is a big fucking difference. So the thing is, the average From Software fan that you run into will be like, dude, they've been fucking killing it since forever. Yes, they have, but to your fucking taste. That's the thing. That you were their target market. The point is, now you have people that have never, dude, people literally go I didn't know that Elden Ring was a From game or a Souls game. It fucking is. It's in its DNA. It is 100% a Souls game. But people don't know that because the mass appeal, the fact that dude, let me tell you something, right? These guys are fucking, Bandai Namco is dog shit at fucking marketing. They are terrible, dude. And they somehow, even though I don't think they did it that good, they did something right with Elden Ring.
Yeah, they made
That is, I'm having a moment of doubt now. That is Bandai Namco that was
they published it.
Yeah, but remember, your publisher is responsible for your advertising.
Distribution, yes.
And your advertising.
Correct.
And so, there came a point when they realized that this game was going to have mass appeal, and you started seeing it on YouTube ads. I don't remember ever seeing a YouTube ad for fucking Bloodborne, Dark Souls fucking 3, the remake on PS5. None of that, dude. That never happened.
Yeah. The PS5 version, I mean, the only advertising it got was first party PlayStation, state of play stuff. It was very not forward marketing. Yeah, it had a great appeal of going through the Game Awards and getting it out to mainstream audiences, but shrouding it in enough mystery where its own hype was built organically. Then at the tail end of Game of Thrones, throwing the George R.R. Martin name on there, it created this powder keg of anticipation. And then when the first 90-minute demos came out, it was good, and that was just it sent people to the moon.
And you had really, really respectable creators in the sphere at that time, guys like Vati and everybody that were allowed to put out really decent preview content for that, and they did a lot of things right at that time, which I think certainly helped hype the game up, because that's the point, though, right? Hype can be both fucking super awesome to a game, or it can be the killer. And in this case, I'm telling you right now, they even in my most tempered of emotions, when I was like, dude, there's no way this game is gonna be that fucking good, it still shattered that shit immediately. So So I can't, to get back to my original point about, AAA studios and everything like that, is what people have to remember though is Elden Ring is not an indie game.
No.
It's made by a AAA studio. And it's made by a AAA studio that had a sort of like a niche fucking market before, but now they're mainstream. And that's why I made that fucking poll, because to me it seems like your shareholders of a company like From Software will now look at this and say, you have the fucking eyes now. Now you make a games as a service. Now you make an MMORPG. Now you make something that fucking steps out from you. And whether From Software says, yeah, you know what, okay, we'll do that, or they go, no, fuck it, we're sticking to our guns and making something else, is of course the story that will be told to us. But my question was simply this: does it make sense, as whether you're a super fan of it or whether you're something? And the response that I got from it was super, super interesting, where I have a lot of like diehard Elden Ring people that have commented on my polls and everything like that. And it actually almost went down the middle, where you had people saying like, yeah, like if they're going to genre switch now, do something fucking crazy and do that. Of course, I did also offer up the option here, like, can we just get Bloodborne 2, please? Let's go. so that ate up a bunch of the audience as well. But it's very interesting to me because just like we and you keep saying to each other that Elden Ring changes the open world demographic now and all of that and everything like that, you also have to wonder about what Elden Ring did to From Software. What the success of that does to that studio. That's the other thing.
I think if they were smart, I would put out a small game. Just level set people, kill all the expectations for what they're going to do next, lay in the weeds, and then do like a passion project, like coming back to their mech series, and then just wait and then refine what they're going to do next, whether it be an Elden Ring 2 or a Bloodborne 2 or whatever the next installment is. I would wait, because they really need to theory craft and sit back and take in what they're going to do. Because even at the launch of Elden Ring, they were kind of shocked at how they were going to present how the game looked, because of how beautiful Demon Souls remake was by PlayStation first party. And what was the blue? I can't remember the name. Blue Point. Thank you. There it is. Blue Point. They were actually stunned at how beautiful that Blue Point made the game. They were like, oh shit. On the heels of this and Elden Ring drops, they're worried how it's going to look. And in the early days, that was the early gig on Elden Ring, was like the frame stuttering and some of the performance stuff. But go back in, re-examine your engine, take time, make a smaller game, come up with a new engine, and then come back with something big. I think that's what they should do.
Yeah, I either which way, I wish them all the success possible, obviously, and I hope that they're able to. There's got to be a sort of like a. I don't want them to bring out another game next year, but my point is there's a strike while the iron is hot kind of thing here that you have to capitalize on. Of course, we're getting DLC for Elden Ring.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, I need to know what's going on with Mikola, baby. Give it to me.
No, there's no way. I mean, it's been all but confirmed. Have you seen this thing where the map keeps changing?
Oh, how so?
So I can refer you to some creators that have tracked this, but the point is that slowly, as they've been doing these patches of theirs, right, they've actually been updating the map and changing some of the geography and moving some things around and changing some of the faces of some of the statues and things. There's things that they've been changing, that it's almost like the world is evolving. And it's small little things, but some people have been taking meticulous notice of that and putting that out. It's very, very interesting, because the thing is, like, if it doesn't mean anything, why the fuck would you go through that effort? Because that's asset redesigning, all of that shit. Like, why is that happening?
That's interesting.
It's very, very interesting.
I'm very excited to see what they do with this game. I mean, they put so much effort into little corners of the world that they don't, like, people still haven't found, probably. There's people still data mining and stripping and finding things, and they have to have big attention for this world, because they made so much extra space in this game, and we know that they removed things from the game. So, I mean, they're definitely going to come back with a lot of stuff.
The whole thing with Mikola.
Yeah,
that's like a massive content piece, yeah, for sure.
I'm super excited for it, but this is the Separated at Birth podcast. What do we do here, right? We enjoy all genres of entertainment that remind us of why we've come together. So, incidentally, we started this stream talking about movies. We've spent some time talking about video games, and now I want to take a little time talk about some music, okay? Sorry,
Let's
my
go.
friend. I'm going to commandeer the show for a little while.
Go
But
nuts.
it's important that we take time to remember that in 1616, the literary world suffered what was thought to be the greatest blow to the world of linguistics with the death of William Shakespeare. A void existed in the world of the written word that seemed could never be filled, not by frauds such as Agatha Christie or C.S. Lewis or Ernest Hemingway or even Mary Shelley. No! It wasn't until September 27th, 1982 that the world received the second coming. All right, in the birth of Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., aka Little Wayne. His mastery of the spoken written word, it keeps the world turning, where he seemingly creates new combinations of things that were never thought of and should be immortalized in stone. That brings us to today's challenge. We are going to dissect 10 sets of lyrics, and it is up to you, my partner, the Full Measure, to determine if these lyrics are from Mr. Carter in what we call, is it Wayne or is it whack? Now, here are the rules. I'm going to read off some lyrics, and it is up to you to determine if these lyrics come from the artist Little Wayne or are these whack things that came out of my mind. All right. And I would like to propose some stakes to this challenge. Okay. And I hope in a future episode, you guys all come back and my partner issues a challenge to me and we have some punishment streams. Okay. We take from these things, and if he fails to meet this challenge, I submit to the channel some options of punishments, and then we vote on them, and then others can do it for when he challenges me. Okay.
So I have a question already.
Ask me.
What is constituted as passing this challenge? Like how many are there?
Just
how
need
many
to get.
questions
There
are
are 10 questions.
How
You
many
need
do I have to get right?
You need to get 6 out of 10 correct.
60%. Dude,
60%.
I've been in like a fucking 75% of my whole life, so I think I can do it. I think I can
All
do
right.
it. I believe in myself.
I spent a lot of time on this, okay? And by a lot of time, I
I'm
spent.
fucking scared right now, bro. I'm very, very scared. It's like I'm scared, but extremely, curious. Like it's like a weird thing right now. I'm going through all of the emotions on the chart.
So, without further ado, I will bring you all and debut the premiere episode of Is It Wayne or Is It Whack? Now, if people enjoy this, we can return to this series with more lyrical masterpieces and present them to my partner who loves the best form of music, rap music, hip hop, and fuckboy music.
I was gonna say, like, you gotta remember my boys, the boys that fuck.
That's right. Without further ado, question number 1. In Is It Wayne or Is It Whack? Had a dream that my dick turned to Megatron, but my girl was sleeping with Decepticons. Is it Wayne or is it whack? Go. Had a dream.
Dude, it sounds like something I would write.
One more time. Had a dream that my dick turned to Megatron, but my girl was sleeping with Decepticons.
Dude, I gotta say that's whack, man. I want it to be real. It
Incorrect. That is one F. Carter.
No fucking way.
I wish we could play the lyrics to these songs just as kind of like, when you get it wrong so you could hear
It's
it.
so good, though.
But that is Little Wayne himself. I told you, he's a master, okay?
He's a fucking lyricmith.
Question 2. Are you ready?
Hit me. Let's go. I gotta redeem myself.
I'm trying to eat healthier, so I ate a veggie, sucked on that pussy, I feel better already. Is it Wayne or is it whack?
I'm gonna need a reverse. Let's go.
I'm trying to eat healthier, so I ate a veggie, sucked on that pussy, I feel better already. Is it Wayne or is it whack? Quiet on the set, please. Let him think.
Dude, I think that's real lyrics, bro. That's
Correct. That is Lil Wayne.
Fucking
Ding, ding, ding. He is on the board.
Is yeah? Come on, dude. That's it. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
He is on the board now.
Oh shit, dude! I am so like relieved right now. I'm saying like I didn't want to get 2 wrong in a row. Is what I'm saying.
We will institute 1 lifeline should you need it as we press on this daunting challenge dealing with some of the best wordsmiths in the world. Question number 3. My dick so hard it make the metal detector go off. My dick so hard it make the metal detector go off. Is it Wayne or is it whack?
Your dick so hard it make
it make the metal detector go off.
That's real though, because I mean that's like you don't go it's gonna make the metal detector go off. It make come on, that's real. That's gotta be real.
Is it Lil Wayne or is it whack?
Oh shit. Okay, it's whack. It's not Lil Wayne though.
Correct. It is 1, 2 Chainz. And my dick so hard it make the metal detector go off. Correct.
Dude, listen here. It's been in a song when it's like that it make, that's dude, come on, dude. That's been in a song. Let's go.
Question.
Okay, I'm feeling good, dude. I'm feeling good.
All right, how are we doing at home? It seems the audience seems to be doing well on these. I did not know one Arconis Wolf is a hip-hop connoisseur.
He is a massive hip-hop connoisseur.
Number 4. Are you into astrology? Because I'm trying to make it to Uranus. Is it Wayne or is it whack? Are you into astrology? Because I'm trying to make it to Uranus. Is it Wayne or is it whack?
You and me both, buddy. Dude, that's I mean that could be a lyric, but that's not Lil Wayne, bro. It's whack. It's whack.
All right, that is Kanye West. You are correct.
Let's go, dude. Dude, let's go.
All right. We are halfway there. You are killing it. He is heating up. Question number 5. Oh, I'm sorry. Question number 5. Here we go.
Oh,
all right.
shit.
Question number 5 on is this Wayne or is it whack? That pussy boneless. That's Chick-fil-A. That pussy boneless. That's Chick-fil-A. Is it Wayne or is it whack? Quiet on the set. He needs to focus. Come on now.
Chick-fil-A really shit. Again, I don't think that there's a chance that this isn't a fucking lyric, but I don't think it's a Lil Wayne. It's too on it, right?
That pussy boneless.
Yes.
That's Chick-fil-A. Is it Wayne or is it whack?
Fuck, man. And then on the other hand, he's kind of raw sometimes, bro. Like,
would you like me to use it in a sentence?
Yes. Can I please have it in a sentence, please?
That pussy boneless. That's Chick-fil-A. N-word.
Okay, it's Lil Wayne.
Correct.
That was it. When you hit me with that last part there, boom, it's done.
All right. Question number 6. Question number 6 in this super serious game of is it Wayne or is it whack? Things are heating up. I like the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom.
That's whack. That's a silly lyric. It's a silly lyric.
That is Digital Underground. You are correct. You are killing it.
Lil Wayne is like, that guy's a fucking artist, bro.
I compared him to Agatha Christie. Where have you been? Are you not paying attention?
You said he's better than Agatha Christie.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not, though. But yeah, come on, let's go, dude. Okay.
Question number 7. I'm in the ocean getting shark pussy. Is it Wayne or is it whack? I'm in the ocean getting shark pussy. 10 seconds, please.
Can I use my lifeline?
No.
Okay, can you use it in a sentence for me, please?
Sure. I'm in the ocean getting shark pussy.
Okay, that's whack.
Incorrect.
Really?
That is one Dwayne Carter.
No, which song?
Oh, I didn't put the song for that one, but it is Lil Wayne.
I'm in the ocean getting shark pussy. That's like, I mean, somebody, right? Hold on. Like, this is like somebody reads this and then goes to, dude, this thing slaps. Tell me about this shark pussy. Like,
William, that's the name of the song.
You were at Atlantic City last year? Like, okay, let's go.
All right, here we go. It's going to get much more difficult from here on out. I hope you're prepared.
Well, I think I already have. I need one more that I have reached the 60%. I think so.
I'm here for the check. All right, here we go. These N-words think they hard. These N-words just nipples. Is it Wayne or is it whack?
They're nipples. Because they're not hard.
These N-words think they hard. These N-words just nipples. Is it Wayne or is it whack?
I think that's Wayne.
Correct!
Let's go, dude. What the fuck?
Let's
go.
Killing it. All right. We have one. We have to prepare the set. We need the mops. He is getting everyone wet with these words. I drink Hennessy straight with tomato juice. Is it Wayne or is it whack?
That's whack.
I drink Hennessy straight with tomato juice.
Edward?
N-word.
No, it's whack. It's whack.
That is correct.
Yes. So did you make that up or is that like a lyric from another rapper?
I was Manuel Noriega.
Dude, Noriega is like, is that man still alive? Has he not been gunned down in a drive-by or something?
Last time he was heard, he was saying what, and no one knew why.
I'm dying, bro. Okay, keep it coming. Let's go.
And this is the final question, but you already won. We are just doing this for bragging rights. You killed it, my friend. But she swallows so many nuts. You fuck around, find a squirrel in her throat. Is it Wayne or is it whack? One more time, please. She swallows so many nuts. You fuck around, find a squirrel in her throat. Is it Wayne or is it whack? These are the serious questions that people want to know.
I want it to be Wayne, so I'm going to go with Wayne.
Correct!
Let's go, dude.
And with that, we have the inaugural game of Is It Wayne? Is It Whack? Slayed by my partner, The Full Measure. He came in here and swept the field, all right? Was anyone prepared for such dominance? No, I say, no, they were not.
Was it 8-2?
It was 8-2. to 2.
Is it 8-2 or 7-3? Was it 8-2? Did I get 8-2?
You only got 2 incorrect. I will repeat what you got wrong.
Dude.
You got shark pussy wrong, and you clearly do not watch Transformers and have sex.
And here's the thing, though, dude. That shark pussy is a mistake you only make once. like I could get that in a quiz show like fucking 20 years from now. I'll be like, no. You fooled me once, that shark pussy's on move. You fooled me twice, that's fucking done, dude. It's done. No, well, oh my God, dude. Thank you so much for that. That's just, how did you keep a straight face?
It was very difficult. I need to turn off my announcer voice. But is it Wayne or is it whack? It's just the beginning. A gem comes from this man every other week, Little Wayne. We will be back with more in this series. So please stick with the Separated at Birth podcast, where you too can find out if it is Wayne or if it is whack. Let's go.
I love it, dude. That was fucking awesome, man. We have to, like, you know what I'm gonna do though, right? I'm gonna edit in the fucking lyrics to a video and release it as a side cut to this, because it'll just, dude, fuck DMCA and its butthole. You just gotta do it because it'll be so funny, man. That was fantastic, dude. That was hilarious. Like, and yeah, I don't know, dude. The shark pussy shit killed me, dude. I can't.
This was a passion project for me, okay? I sit alone in the dark and I listen to Lil Wayne lyrics and I just wonder, how is this not man ascended into sainthood? The lyrics are just insane. A close second is 2 Chainz. Some of the things that guy comes out with is just insane. I die. But
I gotta
man,
say, I'm not that familiar with 2 Chainz and stuff, but me and you both share a huge love for Lil Wayne.
Oh my gosh, I love Lil Wayne. Listen, if you want to laugh and not take anything too seriously, just focus in on 2 Chainz lyrics. It's up there. It's just ridiculous, okay? When I die, bury me next to 2 bitches. I mean, that album is insane, okay?
When I die, bury me next to 2 bitches. Dude, my thing is like, and I said that just now as well with the whole fucking shark thing. Is the point is there are people in that room that hear him say it, right?
Dave.
that like raps it, right? And they go like, dude, this fucking slaps, dog. And not one person's going like, you know, because it like breaks the mood, right? Because he's really focused and he's into it. Or do you think they all just like laugh their asses off and smoke weed? And fucking,
you ever
like,
heard Lil Wayne crack himself up into lyrics? Like, it sounds like me when I get going. So I'm sure he shits out this ridiculous line. He's in the booth just like, N-word.
N-word. I gotta say, I was wondering how we were gonna handle that, but
I got you, baby.
it very well. Dude,
I would have a dream of shark pussy now. I don't know what you did to me.
Yeah, my issue is the 2 that I missed now. I wrote those lyrics down. You better believe your ass I'm gonna be listening to that shit afterwards. It is what it is.
I like Dave's suggestion. But on a future episode, we're gonna have 2 Chainz or 2 Strange.
Oh shit, that's the wrong one. Sorry, we're professionals out here. Here we go. That's the one. 2 Chainz or 2 Strange. I like that.
That's gonna be a good one. That stuff is funny. I'm gonna dive into that.
So William is mentioning Tom McDonald. Do you know that person?
I heard he had a farm.
Dumbass. That's so good, dude. So interesting comment from man, what the fuck? I keep clicking the wrong thing, dude. This coke is hitting me on different levels. So I see I'm
from the streets, man. Come on.
It's from the suburbs.
I'm from the hood.
No, that's phenomenal, man.
So let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story why that comment hits, right? Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, I was super like in the middle of the Biggie Tupac war, you know, going on. Me being a Northeasterner, I was super into it. Like, you know, I had the big baggy clothes. I was like mad hip hop head. I talked real ghetto because I grew up in the hood.
Mad streets.
I was mad streets. So I show up and I have this new FUBU shirt. You remember FUBU?
Oh my god, yeah.
So
That
I
was like
roll
a whole
in.
thing. Like people got like attacked for fake FUBU and shit at my school.
Well,
Like that
listen,
was
I,
like a whole
I
thing.
I rolled in hot with the FUBU, right? I had the Timbs on, fresh, tongue out, just like rolling in. Nobody fuck with me, okay? Then this big giant brother, like this dude, like his name was Roger. He just rolls up on me. He's like, "Yo, motherfucker, you know what that shirt means?" I was like, "Yeah, N-word, FUBU, for us, by us." And he
Oh
just
shit! Did you
knocks
bust
me.
out N-word?
Yeah. Oh, at that time, that's how I spoke. But he
Okay.
knocks me out, and he goes with all the bass in his chest. "No, for us, by us."
Shit.
And I was just like, "Oh!" And then I started wearing sweater vests the next day, and I was a prim and proper boy.
No, so back when I was in because I think I was pretty much the exact opposite of that then. I was like white boy. So like the thing is the first year that I went into high school was when then it was like joined, like there wasn't any more segregation, right? And so it was like a weird thing because that year like you could see this like clashing of like cultures and stuff like that because they had basketball in the school, and before it was always like so big thing in South Africa and Namibia, of course, as you know, is rugby, like yeah. So you can't fuck with that though, right? So like having like people like go like, okay, cool, we're gonna go watch the basketball game, and all this stuff was like fucking crazy. But there was this guy, he was his name was Frank. And he was, I mean, lots of people thought that he was dealing drugs and all this shit, but this guy was like started at the same time as me as like a junior, and we went up. And so there was a time in my high school life that I was in the hostel, like a boarding school is how you guys would call it. And so was this guy, so was Frank. And so that's like a special bond that you build up with people in boarding school. It's like an extra thing, and like it transcends any kind of shit. Like it don't matter where you come from, like you're in boarding school together, so you're like boys.
Yeah.
And so there's this like our PE or physical education teacher was this guy. He was also the headmaster of the of the boarding school, of the hostel. And this guy like was so super sketchy. He would always walk around in these extremely short, like blue, tight little pants and stuff. And he'd make like all the guys do like aerobics and shit. Like when everybody else is like playing fucking football and all that stuff, he's like, okay, guys, we're doing star jumps today. You're like,
what?
Like we're doing push-ups. Yeah, get low on that push-up. Like this kind of shit, right? But this guy was also, because he was the headmaster of the hostel, he was responsible for caning you if you got into trouble. And he got so much like enjoyment out of that caning. It was like weird. Like he'd like stretch it out and shit. So like if you didn't do your homework or something, you got sent up the fucking river, then you'd go there and then he'd be like, okay, I'm gonna need you to just crouch over this chair here. Like this whole fucking thing. So we divide. It was really weird. Like he had too much fun.
You think he was like some like BDSM guy in the back?
I think so. I think so. There was something was going on there, is what I'm saying, right? So the story or the point goes that one time me and Frank we got and Frank was mad, N-word, like he would speak like that. He would like he'd have all the slang, everything like that. This guy was like something out of the movies for me. Remember, I'm like a fucking white kid from the suburbs, bro. I don't know this shit, right? So like both me and him hadn't done our maths homework, and we got sent to this motherfucker. And there was like a bunch of other people there as well. So we were like 8 boys. But 3 of us were from the hostels and like 5 weren't, right? So he's busy giving a class or some shit like that. And he's like, okay, all of you gotta line up over here. I'm gonna do you all in one row. And he's like making this big show, and there's people standing around and all this shit. And so like he's got us all like standing against the wall and everything like that. And he says, no, it's better. Come over here. And there's like a gymnastics fucking horse or something like that. And he says, okay, boys, crouch over this gymnastics horse. And Frank turns around and says to him, no, I'd rather you just cane me. And he says that in front of like maybe like a good 80 people or something like that, dude. And this guy beat the ever-loving shit out of us for that, dude. But Frank was like a hero for that shit because he said, I'd rather you just cane me N-word. To this hostile guy, bro. And And it was the most awesome, like one of those moments that I ever had in my life, dude. I ran into Frank like years later, bro. When I'd already gone overseas and I'd been away and I came back to Namibia and I ran into this guy, and he was still as funny as fucking ever, dude. And
Oh my
he
gosh.
reminded me of this fucking story because he said it was just so fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh
So,
my
yeah.
gosh. I would be friends with Frank. He sounds
And
like a legend.
nobody was wearing any FUBU in this story, by the way. So
No, well, I've never worn FUBU again.
oh, he smacked the FUBU out of you?
Yeah, he beat the
FUBU out of me.
He beat the FUBU out of me, and he beat the fuck out of me. But,
Oh shit!
I went home to my mom and I was like, "Throw it all out! Like, throw it all out!
I'm done with this lifestyle. This lifestyle got me.
No more Fat Farm. No more Inichi. No more FUBU."
You know all these brands, like holy shit! Like I
lived that life, bro.
I wore all this like skater shit, bro. Like Etnies and fucking like Element.
Yeah, I moved on to the Element and Vans world after that. Coincidentally, Tony Hawk had just dropped, and it like changed my life anyway.
you just went completely from one.
I shifted, man. And I started hanging out with all the white stoners. I was like, yeah, man, you know, life's real freaking mystery. I don't understand how people our age could let a teacher hit you. Oh, dude, I used to get canings all the time. I got my knuckles wrapped with meter sticks. It was a whole thing.
Dude, Fenrir, that's I mean it's definitely a culture thing because it's funny, like obviously my wife comes from like she was in a fucking convent in high school, all that shit. That was like her thing. And so to her, like if I tell her some of these stories, like how we used to get our fucking asses fucking tanned, she's horrified by it. She can't understand. Dude, we in grade 10, which is like when you're 15, 16,
yeah,
we have like the in Namibia we had this thing, like it was like this inter-high fucking competition, so the 3 high schools would compete against each other on all the sports, and it was massive bragging rights that the schools would have, and so certain schools were better at certain things, but there was an all-boys school that was generally would always dominate, and my school and then the other school would kind of like fight for second and third place, and but these guys were fucking assholes. So yeah, and so they would you know fucking tease and all that shit, and it was all the stuff. So the one year what we did is the big rugby fucking game was like on the Saturday. So we went to Friday night, and we at the school, the school where the rugby games are going to be showed, there was this long fucking like driveway that you went that had fucking like was lined with trees. And we went and dug up 4 of these trees and moved the trees into the middle of the rugby field and replanted them in the field there. Meaning that the next day they couldn't play rugby, so they couldn't fucking win. And so people kind of like knew that it was the senior class that fucking did that. But I mean, but it was the seniors that orchestrated and used all of our like fucking juniors and shit to do that. Dude, and they pulled like 10 or 12 of us into a room and they beat the ever-loving fuck out of us. But after they beat us, the guy said, listen here, before you guys go, that's honestly the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. So I'm just saying, like, we had to beat your ass on principle, but that was some gourmet shit. Like, it's really like
that's awesome. Yeah, and I would say in the mid 90s to late 90s, we call it corporal punishment. Corporal punishment was outlawed in the US except for in private schools. So my parents essentially paid to send me to school that would beat me when then they were taking breaks from beating me. So it was just like
exactly.
It was
like, let someone else
clock.
do this. My hands are getting tired, bro. No, it's look, it's often had me think, right? So I mean, Roman, you have kids, I don't, right? And it's had me think about things like what would I certainly I can say this easily and evenly. I would not do it to the, and I don't mean to speak ill of a dead man. I mean, my dad's gone, but like I wouldn't do it to the, because my dad was raised a certain way and he passed that on to me, and he tried to raise me the same way. But I heard stories about what my grandfather did to them, which was fucking ridiculous. I mean, my dad and his twin brother ran away from home when they were 17.
Yeah, right? I ran away from home when I was 17 because of my hidings. It was bad.
So I didn't get it that I never ran away from home. At least not in the way of like, bye, I'm never coming back. Like once I started making money, I was like, okay, fuck you all, I'm out. But the thing is like, I think it's like a whole, it was passed on and passed on and passed on. So I think like you take from that what you I think what makes sense, and it's going to sound weird when I say it like this now, but I don't think that corporal punishment is bad. I think when people like abuse it or get some form of joy out of it, obviously that's fucked up. But the point is that I can look now and see, for instance, like my wife's sister, our nephews, right, or their kids, right, that grew up without ever, feeling like. And I'm not saying the back of a hand, they fucking rod, whatever the fuck, right? But never any of that. Like they have like quiet time, or we take your fucking tablet away or some shit like that. And it's just not the same.
No, it's not the same.
It's not the same. And so maybe I'm old fashioned or something like that. And maybe corporal punishment is fucking terrible. I don't know. But I certainly don't think I turned out that bad. And there was a thing in me when I did something bad that I like, that shit put the fear of God in me. I was like, oh my God, my shit's gonna get fucking like, I almost said pounded, but that's something else. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, with my kids, I never do it out of anger. I never do it where it's like this.
No, you shouldn't. You gotta take the emotion out of it.
Yeah, when I would get beat, it was like for any little thing, and there was always like this big like shitstorm with it. But like, no, it's always dispassionate. It's always a question: would you rather lose this item for a week, or would you rather get a hiding? And like, I let them have the agency to choose what's going to happen to them. And then
it's funny though. 9 out of 10 times they'll take the beating.
10 out of 10s they take the beating. 10 out of 10. Especially my oldest daughter. And she's funny, that one. She will never give me the satisfaction of a cry. She looks at me cold in the eye.
Oh, she stared you down
and stares at me and
oh damn.
She's like, "Is this all you got, MF?" Like, she won't say it. Dude. She won't say it, but she'll look at me like the whole time, and I respect the shit out of her for it. But I think I'll go with ages, right? My oldest is 18 and my youngest is 7. So of all of that, I don't think they've ever gotten more than 5 hidings. So
I mean, dude, I fell off I fell off the roof as a kid after having been repeatedly told by my parents, specifically my dad, to stop fucking around. And I fell into some rose bushes that were surrounded by this concrete fucking belt thing. And I basically almost in a way like snapped my kneecap in half. And I was like, that's hospital time, right? I still got a fucking hiding on the way to the hospital. So I mean, needless to say, I never played on the roof again. But yeah, that was just, I mean, there's not a part of me right now, and I can say this categorically, there's not a part of me right now that sits and remembers one of those fucking, canings and going like, oh, this motherfucker touched me, like, there's none of that in there. And I believe that all of those things, they obviously brought me to where I am today. But yeah, some of it was a little bit, I think you said it very well when you said like the emotion and the thing about it. And it should never be like, I don't think it should ever be done in anger, because that would probably be, like then you start tapping into some, animalistic
shit.
Now
you're releasing rage on someone you're supposed to love.
And that's, no, exactly. And it's about the main thing is it's discipline, right? It's not about lashing out or anything like that, but it's about, I think something that's severely lacking, I suppose, and this is some boomer shit now, but the thing is, like, people don't understand repercussions anymore.
That's such a great word. I used this yesterday. I said actions have consequences.
Yeah.
And my kids were never the kid at the supermarket or the shops that are yelling at their parents. That would mortify me.
The fuck out, bro.
That would mortify me.
I once threw a tantrum for some, I guess it was a fucking Lego. It must have been a Lego, dude. I was obsessed by it. That I wanted in the shop, and because my parents were like, bro, you can get it on your birthday. And I was like, fuck that shit. It's 2 months from now. And I threw like a tantrum shit. My parents left me at the shop, bro. Like they left and came back like 3 hours later. You're like, are you calmed down now? Like, are you good? So yeah, I mean, I'll never forget my grandfather's last words: "Stop shaking the ladder, you little shit." So evil. Yeah, no. So I think the repercussions thing is a big thing.
I'm left with these immortal words that I tell all parents. All right, and I wish this for you, so I will tell it to you. You will love your child, but do you like them? Raise children that you will like. Okay,
Okay.
because if they're little shitheads, that's your fault.
No, and I look. My big thing is as well. Like I think me and you've spoken about a bunch of times that like you get people that act as if like they've never been checked. They've never had that like oh fuck moment where you're like okay cool like I'm about to catch a beating or I'm about to be disciplined or something like that and I fully deserve it because I was a piece of shit. And this is now there comes a time when you take your licks.
Mhm.
Right, and that's the thing. Like I feel and again it's super easy for me to sit and say this here now because I don't have any of my own kids, so I don't know those exact emotions that you go through at that moment where you might be like motherfucker, like I get that, but I have to think that a certain amount of this is like very, very, very like it's on the parents. Like if your kids grow up to be little like shit heels that have no respect for anything, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, dude, who would have ever thought we'd be on the separated at birth part? I was talking about taking beatings from our parents. Dude, if I ever spoke to my mom, nanny, grandpa, or papa, the way done kids speak to their parents, I've gotten the strap again. Dude, I mean, it is what it is. Like that was. It's also like with my parents. I had this thing like it's all fun and games until you got that thing like, and then you're like, I got you. Message clearly received. I'm gonna stop right now. Like
my grandma had a collection of switches of sticks that were like some were shaved of the bark, some were more flexible.
He was a little bit of an asshole to like this guy gonna get killed today.
So, I mean, it was like going to Ollivander's shop in Harry Potter. Instead of finding your wand, you had to find the stick that Mita was going to beat you with. But if you picked the wrong
one, you still got the big one. So it was this whole thing where you're like, okay, pick it, motherfucker. You're like. They're like, no. It's,
no, you mean this.
I was
you don't
like,
choose the wand, Harry. The wand chooses you.
I looked at the wand and I'm like, this is like 2 steps up in it. Like, I'm like, okay, it's this one. It's this one, right? I never in my entire life, my fucking dad wasted time with those first 2 choices because I never got those. Those are for show. It might as well have been a feather and a tie or something like that because it's like the only thing, like you maybe choke me out with the tie or something like that. But those 2 will never get. They'll never get. Those are like the testers. You're like, no, keep going. You're going up the road here. Let's go.
Did you have a relationship with your grandparents?
No, I only had my grandma, but they'd all like passed away by the time that I can remember. A lot of them were alive at the time I was born, but like went in like let's say between 1 and 7 for me, something like that. The only one that was alive was my mom's mom, and she went like fucking like proper Alzheimer's, dementia, fucking ape shit crazy, where she kept on thinking I was her brother and shit. And we had a lot of fun with her. She's like fucking run away. She was like with that crazy dementia where you like fucking like a secret agent and you fucking try to sneak off the reservation. You get like a cab and you leave and like this crazy shit. So yeah, no, unfortunately not. I only had her, and like I said, I don't have her that much. Yourself?
Yeah, no, I had both of my well, my one grandfather died a long time ago, but like before I was born. But I had my grandma and grandparent on my mother's side, but then my one grandmother on my father's side. She was like, my father was very poor, like grew up in a hut on the islands, and like my grandfather left and then was like sending money back. Anyway, she was this bitter old woman who hated everyone. And then when my grandfather died and she got the lot of cash, she then immigrated everybody over to America. Okay. And but she just was like still this woman that lived in a hut, even though she had like this big house because she had got all this money. And like she was adamant on torturing all the kids. Like she hated us. We all look like my grandfather, and so we were fucking assholes. But she would come up to me. She'd be like, all right, here's the type of woman she was. She got nice furniture finally, so she put the plastic on it, and no one was allowed to sit on it because we were all filthy.
So was this for show?
No. the kids were dirty fucks. We had to sit on the floor or else we would ruin her furniture, so she had the plastic on it. But she would come up to me and she'd be like, Roman, you little pussy. You're just like your grandfather.
Oh my God.
He couldn't handle this. And she'd get these like roosters like from her pen because she kept all chickens because she was a bruja. So she would do like magic and shit. But she would take the chickens and she'd be like, hold it, pussy. And she would spin the heads and pop them off with her bare hands and hand it to me. And I was like 5 and I'm holding this chicken and it's like shaking in my hands.
Like something out of The Shining, bro.
Oh my God, bro, she was insane. That's why I used to kill cats a lot as a kid. I think she fucked me up. But like she was Satan incarnate, all right? Like this woman was evil. I loved her to death because like I wanted her affection, but I could never get it. And she smoked like 10 packs a day. And
did she go out like a champion? Fuck you.
Yes, yes. She went out at 86, smoking every day still.
Like shot someone with the fucking cigarette butt as she left. Bro, like, fuck you.
She wouldn't speak any English, and I barely know any like real Catalonian Spanish, but like Castilian Spanish. But like she would like walk around, and the only time she would like use English language when she was Sunday when she would watch the Spanish WWF wrestling, and so she would let me sit at her feet and watch wrestling with us.
That's luchador shit like that.
Lucha Libre, yeah, like Lucha Libre. And
oh my God.
I would sit and I'd watch her and like I'd be like, hey, I'm the one who likes wrestling. I'm the good grandkid.
Right? Do you like
am I doing
now?
something right? Yeah. And then she'd like get the fuck away from me. But like she wouldn't speak English. Like these were things that were translated to me. And then I caught her one day when I was in the school, like because I went to Catholic school, and she was speaking perfect English with the fucking priest, and she was running like this like illegal bingo operation out of the halls there. She was a fucking don, man. She ran like the Hispanic like underground railroad. She had like illegals like in her basement and shit.
Right now?
And she fucking hated me. But listen,
well, I mean, let's be honest. I feel like she probably hated like a lot of things.
She hated
don't feel alone. Like she hated life, bro.
She hated life, but she went out like a champ. But this is the Separated at Birth podcast. You get a little window into our soul. You get to find out where your lives and your stories align. You bring them to the chat, and you show us where you have also been separated at birth from us. This is a fun time building this little community with my partner, and every week I learn a little bit more about you. I hope you learn a little bit more about me, and I hope through the chat you guys making us laugh. You put your comments that we find funny, we'll throw it up on the screen, and you too can be a part of the show and find out how you are separated at birth. We're gonna play some more challenge games. We're gonna cook something up, and then we're gonna have like these punishment streams. We're gonna keep score, and then we're gonna have to do nasty things to one another live on air. We hope you guys are with us for those. So please share this podcast out with people. We're going to try to get it out on more audio platforms. You heard the Full Measure. He's going to edit some of this stuff up because he's a fucking boss. And we want to spread this thing. We want this to be a beacon for geeks, gamers, and people that are into the same weird shit that we are, that we can all come together once a week, kick up our heels, and laugh at each other's bullshit. Without further ado, Full Measure, take us home, baby. And that's episode 12.
Thanks, man. Yeah, look, I can only like repeat a lot of what you said, but I think you sent us off into the stratosphere in the right way. It has been an absolute pleasure doing this with you now, but also all of the previous episodes, and there's many more to come. I want to thank everybody for making the time for us to come and hang out with us, because without you guys, this whole thing is just the two of us yelling at each other over the airwaves, which we do in any case. But it is what it is. But it's just super important to me that you guys have a great weekend. I'm sure my partner agrees with me. We both have things planned this week. I think streams and videos and whatnot. So we'll be sure to fucking catch up with you again during the time. But if not, just take care of yourselves. Have fun. Don't work too hard, because that's just bullshit. And we'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Cheers.